Hello Collective, welcome to the channel. It is November 15th, 2025, and I'm back to check in with Spirit, Holy Spirit Divine, to see what storyline they would like to share with us this Saturday night. Currently, it's 40 minutes after 10 p.m. Let us tap in. Holy Spirit, Divine Spirit, what storyline would you like to share with the collective, please? Holy Spirit, Divine Spirit, storyline for the collective, please. And thank you. Oh, yeah, we want some of this. All right. In the central energy for Pentacles. Somebody may be trying to hold on to the foundation. In the challenge position, please Spirit, challenge position. We got a Four of Pentacles here. Somebody's being greedy. Somebody wants to control. They're being challenged by the Hierophant. In the subconscious, Tower. They're in a tower. In the recent past, we've got joy, merriment. There's a celebration. Intentions and expectations. Sun. A rebirth, a renewal, celebration. There's a lot of joy here, a lot of joy. A rebirth in the near future. King of Swords. Mental clarity. Somebody knows the truth. We got something going on with the King of Swords. The lens is being looked through. Ace of Swords. In the environment, Nine of Wands. Hopes and fears. Star. Outgoing energy. Right here. Justice. We've got six of Swords here, and Judgment. All right. Justice, you're leaving on, that's the Judgment. King of Wands is in the Chariot. Yeah, he's bringing this. He's taking us in a new direction, or he's taking himself in a new direction, going in a new direction. This is the completion of a cycle. So the law of cause and effect is here, moving away from that trauma, and that is the Judgment. Somebody's following a spiritual calling, having an awakening, there's a better, greater understanding. Alright, so we've got somebody wants to hoard the wealth. They want to control the foundation. They're being very greedy. Water. I think this is the Leviathan entity. They're challenged by the Hierophant. Morality, ethics, neighbors. Water. We've just begun to learn about the water and its secrets. So there's there's a greedy water spirit here, challenged by the Hierophant and neighbor. So this is really happening. This is no dream. There really is a plot afoot. How well do we really know our neighbors? And how much do they know about us? Is it possible that they see us playing a role in the design of their lives of which we're unaware? Are their secret ambitions born of our deception or ignorance? Trust your senses. You can tell a lot about someone by looking into their eyes. So we've got the Hierophant here, looking into your eyes. This is the neighbor. He's seen everything that has happened. Perhaps what do your neighbors do? They're watching. They're watching who's coming, who's going. What are you doing? Are you a drug dealer? You got lots of people coming and going. Is there a lot of shouting and fighting? You have target practice in the backyard. What's going on? Anyway, they're thinking they're in a tower. So the Hierophant is bringing this water being, or whoever this is, perhaps a Leviathan. They're experiencing a tower. The Hierophant saw it all. It could be that the neighbors are telling it all. Shock. They're in shock. You got celebration in the recent past. Three of Cups. And we've got friendship in the reverse. Has it occurred to you that it might be unsettling to see you arise from the grave to visit me? Shared experiences. Shared experiences, especially traumatic ones, can help forge bonds of friendship. Our friends often know us better than anyone, even when we experience dramatic transformation. This is in the reverse, though. It can feel as much like a curse as a blessing to have someone see you as you really are. Recognize, however, that even a friend's best intentioned guidance may be shaded by their ulterior motive. In the reverse, it says, stick to the road you're on. So we've got a celebration here. You're sticking to the road you're on. It's unsettling to see you arise from the grave. People are freaking out. So yeah, there's a celebration. You have risen from the grave. Everybody's freaking out. You've risen from the grave and you're sticking to the road you're on. There's a rebirth with the sun here. There's a celebration. Ice. The sun is out. The sun is warmth. The sun is rebirth. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. So we've got the sun, we've got a rebirth. It's weird and pissed off, whatever it is. A difficult or unforgiving environment can play a major role in our health and sense of well-being. It can limit and control our behavior as well as the actions of those around us. Harsh circumstances can allow bad energies to mutate and thrive in the extreme. Only by identifying a problem can we have any chance of dealing with it, or at least keeping it from spreading. Band together to stay warm. Resist negative forces. So there's a rebirth. Whatever it is, it's pissed off. You're banding together to stay warm. Sticking to the road you're on, risen from the grave. Fire and ice. And it's pissed off. King of Swords is here. Mental clarity. They've learned about whatever this is, that ice. So they've got A, B, C, D. So they got the ice. It's pissed off. There's a banding together to resist negative forces. So somebody rose from the grave and there's a celebration, a rebirth. The sun is here, banding together to stay warm and resist negative forces. It's weird and it's pissed off. You know, I heard some of these say, what the hell is it? Like they can't, whatever it is, there's like protectors. There's some presences here that these ones, they swore that they had exterminated them all. Like they were supposed to be a myth. It's like these bindings or these curses have been lifted and there's a lot of freedom happening. Dreams. King of Swords is here. He has mental clarity and we've got dreams. Let's see what the dreams is. Everybody's got to dream. The weird jumble of dream logic can feel beyond our control, almost as though someone else is pulling the strings. Oh. It can be unclear where we are or how we've arrived there, but a surreal turn can cue what's really happening, and a lucid chance to turn our back on the stuff of nightmares. Dreams tell stories. Listen. So the King of Swords, he could be a dreamer. He could actually be in the dream world, and he knows the truth about what's been going on there. So that would be the 5D. You know, when normal people like you and me go to sleep, we thinking we're having a dream, but there's a whole nother world and a whole nother reality where our spirit is having a whole nother experience that we may not even be fully aware of. Dreams tell stories. So whatever's happening to your spirit self in this other realm or whatever, it's like he knows the truth of it. He could be like an authority. This could be an authority that is moving around in the dreamscape or in the 5D. He's looking at who's talking to who's calling who's communicating, who's planning on bringing whatever that dude's name is. What is that? Elm Street? What? I don't know the guy's name. Scissor Hands or whatever. Oh, that's the other one. So, we got the Ace of Swords. There's a breakthrough. This is an authority. He could be a judge. He knows what's been happening in the 5D. Who's been communicating? Who's been planning like some bad stuff in the dream space? Who's been hurting people perhaps? There's a breakthrough. The truth is out. There's a successful breakthrough. The truth is out. Dance. Okay, let's look up dance. Bad luck isn't brought by broken mirrors, but broken minds. The truth is out. For all its startling beauty, dance practiced at the highest level can be uncompromisingly brutal, an assault on the bodies and minds of the dancers delivered by teachers who are akin to a coven of sadists. It's a fallacy that art must come from suffering. But if a pursuit does prove difficult in the extreme, look for a lesson in the difficulty itself. In the upright position, this card represents to find inspiration in the commitment of others. Bad luck isn't brought by broken mirrors, but broken minds. A coven of sadists. So the truth is out about a coven of sadists, broken minds, a group of broken minds. We've got the Nine of Wands in the environment. It's time to heal. Egg. Battle worn, defensive, sickness, injury. It's time to heal. Oh God, it's moving right towards you. Got your boundaries up. It's not always clear that we're only at the beginning of a situation. The stranger the circumstance, the less able we are to predict the way it can evolve over time with potentially shocking results. Gut-wrenching decisions may be forced upon us when we have limited means with which to respond. But any new encounter, no matter how awful, can prove to be a crucible that helps us recognize our inner strength. Take care when peering into the unknown. So you're battle ready. It's moving towards you, and you're battle ready. We've got the Star and the hopes and fears section. You're battle ready. It's coming towards you. Illness. The Star is here. We've got illness. You may have, you might be healing illness. Somebody's coming right towards you. They want to be healed. They want your light. Illusion. A-B-C-D-F-G-H-I. Yeah. Illness. Who let the monster out of my closet? An illness or other life disruption can be restricting, making us feel confined by limitations it has imposed. Being in its grip can also drive out of character behavioral changes. It's important to keep compassion for ourselves and others who may be struggling, but it's also vital to protect ourselves from harmful situations that are beyond our control. Prioritize your own needs in difficult times. So this Star has, there's been a miraculous recovery. They're rejuvenated. They're vibing high. They're shining brightly, prioritizing their own needs in this difficult time. So yeah, this Star, might not be very friendly. They're battle worn, battle ready. They're being defensive. We got some kind of alien there coming towards you. You got Cujo here with you, Star. They might not be happy with what they find if they get too close to you. Justice is here. The truth is out. Law of cause and effect. You got the Six of Swords. You're moving on from all of this trauma. Better days are coming, and that's the Judgment. You're moving on into your spiritual calling. Woods. It's like a totally filtered reality. Reliance on technology can make it easy for us to overestimate our abilities and may embolden us to cavalierly venture into situations we probably should avoid or have even been warned about. If such devices fail us or we kick them away in frustration, we can find ourselves in unfamiliar, unforgiving terrain. In this case, do we focus on the forest or the trees to find our way? In the upright position, it's the overall picture, the forest. So you're looking at the forest. There's a spiritual calling. You're looking at the forest. You're seeing the bigger picture. You might be moving to the woods. You could be getting into some forest management. A totally filtered reality. So you've got a spiritual calling. We've got a totally filtered reality. You could be calling judgment on those who have a totally filtered reality. You're leaving the trauma. That's justice, the law of cause and effect. There's judgment being called, a reckoning on the woods. A totally filtered reality. The illusion. The technology, the illusion that has been created by technology. It could be that they're getting kicked away. You're seeing the bigger picture. You're calling judgment on a totally filtered reality, like on this illusion. You could be calling judgment on this illusion. Nature. They're coming. Problems of a feather may flock together, and while just one may seem manageable, if many descend upon us simultaneously, we can feel beset by an irresistible force of nature. When complications peck and scratch at us from all sides, it can be hard to know where to turn or what to do. But take comfort that as suddenly and mysteriously as a flurry of problems can arise, their departure can be equally abrupt. In the upright position, this card signifies actively meeting each situation as it comes. So they're coming. It's like, so we've got the woods. Somebody has cast an illusion. The judgment has been called on those who have been filming what? They've been filming what? The lifetime stories of people. They've been casting illusions, filming the lifetime stories of people. And now we got some stuff chasing them down. And experience here. Experience. So they're coming, right? They're coming. So they're being chased. They're under judgment. They're being chased about this illusion that they did. This is justice. You're moving away from this trauma. You see who have better days coming. We've got experience. We have such sights to show you. In an all or nothing culture that feeds on extremes, in which everything is the absolute best or the abject worst, it might be tempting to go many steps beyond. Can any mere mortal's taste match the appetites of the explorer hell-bent on pushing limits yet unknown to most? Is it really worth it? Is it really worth it? So they're being chased down. Nature is attacking them. It was an all or nothing culture. It was just an all or nothing. Hell-bent, pushing limits. And now there's fate. Oh gosh, we've got fate and the other side. Fate. Fate. They've determined their own fate. And the other side. Where are you? There's unfinished business to be handled. The midnight hour gremlins are here. And they're hungry. They're hungry. All right, so that does not sound too good. We already know that you know, humanity has been fed upon for centuries. And it seems to me, you know, whatever this water thing is, this Leviathan or whatever, it's been having some kind of greedy control issue. And I don't know if this is the main character, the main bad guy or whatever. But they've been like, you know, snacking on the divine feminine, controlling the foundation. This divine feminine has the rainbow covenant with God. There's planetary dominion. This is a dignitary, a magistrate. They get to say who gets to be here and who doesn't get to be here. And you got this nasty little sea creature that's been snacking on them and you know, keeping them bound and stuff. But it looks to me like it's over. They no longer have possession of divine feminine, and they're really upset. They're hungry. They want to come and eat, you know. They're under judgment for the illusions that they have cast. Mother Nature seems to be kicking their butt. And she's supported by the true masculine, you know, whose reputations have been really compromised here. So I guess we'll do this one. I need some new cards. I need some new cards. I haven't used these in a while. Let's use these. So somebody has been, is greedy and possessive. They want control of this foundation. Somebody has a specific idea about what kind of life should be permitted here. That Leviathan or whatever that creature is that's been controlling the consciousness of divine feminine does not have planetary dominion. They're struggling to maintain control of that foundation. They've got to get a hold of this feminine once more. Problem for them is that she has been she's got a guarantee, like they can't trap her and they're not going to obtain her. They're gonna be, you know, upset by what happens when they try, but I suppose maybe they don't have a choice. It's all or nothing for them right now, and it's that way for her as well, you know, because life is life, man. Nobody wants to be held down and have their brains freaking messed with. Look at the way he's got his claws. He's about ready to dig his claws into her brain. What a... Yeah, they're not nice, man. They're not nice. I can tell you, they're not nice. See, this creature wants the planet terraformed. They want a specific type of body, life form to be able to live here. And the thing is this isn't his territory. I guess their contract is up. Magistrate is in, and they need to come and freaking flip her, replace her, consume her, something. These creatures, you know what they do? Cautious. So you act very careful in order to avoid possible danger that may not even exist. So we got a hoarder. This is a controller. This is a greedy entity that has been feeding on the consciousness and the intellectual misusing the intellectual property of divine feminine and the energy. They've been dressing everybody up in, hurting people with it, doing bad things with time and dimensions and spaces and places and humanity. This thing does not want humans to exist. They want to control the foundation, the planet. And we've got cautious. They might be being cautious, They might be being cautious right now. They don't know what kind of danger exists. We've got the Hierophant here. The Most High God is here. And then, so we've got God, and whatever this sea creature is, they're like, they're getting at it. And we got the neighbors here. They could be neighbors, like, you know, like neighbors, realms, dimensions, systems. There might be, you know, what do they call that? Blue Kachina, red Kachina, whatever. Maybe. Anyway, they're neighbors, so, you know, and it sounds to me like this creature of the water has been feeding on this Hierophant's family. They've been trapping them, right? With all these lies, all these hooks, all these freaking things that they've been doing with the energy in the dream state. So they're using caution. They could be challenged by this Hierophant. They could be challenged by their own neighbors. Maybe their neighbors are confessing or saying something. Copycat. They're challenged because of all their copycats. And the neighbors, they saw everything. The neighbors saw everything. So this Hierophant could be talking to the neighbors of the copycats. They saw everything. There's a tower there, and they're shocked. Dogmatic. There's a tower. Dogmatic. They're certain that they are right about their beliefs, and they feel everyone else is wrong about theirs. They're in shock. They're having a tower. How could this be happening? They're certain they are right. They got some mental issues. Well, they're a freaking sea creature. Maybe they're just waterlogged or something. I don't know. There's a celebration here because somebody has risen from the grave. And they're not scattered. They're not forgetful. They're not disorganized. They're thinking clearly. It could be that they have evicted some folks that they thought were friends. But in the reverse here, that friendship. Friendship says, stick to the road you're on. You're sticking to the road you're on. You're not taking in any new friends. You're not dealing with scattered people. You're thinking clearly. There's a rebirth here. You've got fire and ice. Everybody's together, keeping warm. Somebody's pissed. You might have a protector, an ancient protector that is pissed about what's going on here. Maybe there's something in the ice that is pissed. Ooh, a rebirth. Ooh, somebody has risen from the dead. Somebody has got up out of the grave. They're thinking clearly. Ice. There's a rebirth. There's a rebirth. Something might have been buried in the ice. There's a rebirth. Everybody's huddled together, keeping warm. Something is very pissed off. restless, unable to stay still or be quiet and calm because of anxiety or worry. There's a rebirth of something that was in the ice. They don't know what it is, but it's pissed off. People are huddling, trying to stay warm. Whatever this is, it's unwilling to stay still or be quiet. Somebody's having anxiety. They might be leaving, like people might be going. We got all these suitcases. But not everybody, not every suitcase has a person. What's going on? Not every suitcase has a person. Oh, that's because they took off without their suitcase. They just left it there and walked off. So everybody's like leaving their baggage behind. There's a team. This is like an explorer, a team of explorers, like in the... This is a team of explorers in the ice. You know, I heard that... Confirmation, I guess. I heard this curator talking about Siberia. A couple of times he needed a Siberian for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe because whatever this is, maybe the Siberian, the only one who knows how to deal with this, whatever this is, it's been rebirthed. We got fire and ice. People are worried. They're full of anxiety. They're leaving their baggage behind. They're like, suitcases are just sitting there, and they're like walking off without their suitcases. King of Swords here, he knows the truth about what's been going on in the dreams of society, of humanity. All of the crazy little tricks, the little tricks and gimmicks that these people have been doing in order to get ahead and to cast illusions and to hurt people, to get them deceitfully convicted and to steal their stuff, to steal their dreams. So he's fully aware of what's going on there. His is an authority figure. He's an authority. Yeah. These people are nervous. He knows, he has truth and clarity about what's going on in the dream state, in the 5D. These people are nervous. They're having extreme anxiety and fear. They might be avoiding social settings. Because they were meddling. They know what they were doing. They were intruding in other people's affairs or business without right or invitation. King of Swords knows the truth. He is an authority. He knows what they've been doing to people in their dreams. Ace of Swords. Dance. What was that dance? He knows the truth about the dance. He knows the truth about the dance. Broken minds. A coven of sadists. Assaulting bodies and minds. Assaulting bodies and minds in the dream state. Moody. Your feelings and behaviors change quickly without any warning because they're messing with people in their dreams. And when they wake up, they're, I don't know about you, but years ago, like there was times I'd wake up just crying and I didn't know why. That's because people are messing with you in the dream state because they got to harvest this suffering energy. Moody energy. They got to mess with people's emotions. So they go into your dreams and they mess with you, and you wake up and you have a bad day. And people are like, what's wrong with you? Oh man, I just had a bad dream, or nightmare. Whatever, my wife cheated, whatever. Whatever they got to do to you in the dream state to screw up your day, they've been doing it. It's the dance. They call it competition, but how could it be competition when you don't even know that they're doing this stuff to you in the dreams, and you don't even know that you're under attack? You're just going to work every day, working while these people are beating you down in the dream state, and you don't even know. You're battle worn. You've been at this for a while, and you've got this thing coming right at you. It's time to heal. They got this egg. This thing is coming right at you. What's going on with this egg thing? Isn't that what that said? Isn't that what that said? Yeah, it's moving right toward you. So you're battle worn. 9 of Wands. You could be getting defensive. It's coming right toward you. You got all your things up. This sucks. Self-critical, closed off. It's coming right toward you. You are inclined to find fault in yourself by criticizing the actions or decisions you make on a daily basis. It could be that you're shut down emotionally and socially to avoid getting hurt. Something might be coming toward you. This could be some negative mental stuff. Somebody might be trying to unleash, to egg you on, so to speak. Somebody might be trying to egg you on with this mental effery. They want you to shut down emotionally. They want you to close down your heart. It's like they want you to believe that you're unworthy. Or maybe you just don't want to deal with these people who are coming towards you. The star is here. Recovered, a miraculous recovery after an illness. You got Cujo on that card. Accusatory, an illness. You accuse others of certain acts because you want to deflect from your own misdeeds or insecurities. So the star has recovered, a miraculous recovery from some kind of an illness. Somebody's accusing, somebody was pointing fingers. Somebody might have gotten an illness. They're trying to point fingers. You might be pointing the fingers. You're accusing others. You may know who hurt you, who brought the light out of you, this miraculous recovery that you had to go through, and why. You're making accusations. I heard these curators and their buddies talking about she's testifying about every lifetime, about every deed, and that she knows everybody. So the star has made a miraculous recovery from some kind of rabid illness, and now I say she because it's a woman on the card, making accusations, literally testifying as to every deed, every person who did the deed, every lifetime. Justice is being served, the law of cause and effect. The truth is out, clarity is here about how these guys have been messing in the dream state with people, giving them anxiety, stressing them out, meddling in their affairs without right or invitation. Justice is being served. We've got the Six of Swords. You're moving on from this trauma. Better days are coming. There is judgment for these illusionists, those who have made up a whole bunch of stories, and they were filming it the whole time. It was all, while people were crying and suffering, they had a freaking camera going the whole time. They were broadcasting throughout the galaxy a thing called Lifetime Story about the stars and how they could not overcome their challenges of these jackwagons. They were so thrilled to show this to our human family who had been sold into slavery throughout these other dimensional spaces and this world. Not very nice, man. The stars pointing the finger at everybody who participated in giving her this illness. I mean, they might have made her appear as though she was crazy. Now she's pointing the fingers. Yeah, we got people worried, man. They're leaving their baggage behind. They're like out of here. They're traveling light. They know it's coming. We got, this came out and slid into the reverse. This says, Munchausen. You try to get attention and sympathy by falsifying, creating, and or exaggerating an illness. So you weren't trying to gain attention. You weren't falsifying anything. These guys are under judgment. They can't falsify anything. They're not able to falsify anything. They're not able to exaggerate an illness. They're not getting any sympathy. They're not getting any sympathy. Nobody's giving them any sympathy. They have an inferiority complex. They're very inconsiderate. This is a hot-headed individual that is codependent on everybody, and they assume other people's identities and then accuse the original of copycatting them. You know, people, this person is overly dramatic, and people have been turning a blind eye to this, blind loyalty to a deceptive person. And now they're having victim mentality and anxiety. Serial cheaters, irresponsible serial cheaters that mate poach others, that body shame others. Mothers. They go out, they engage in repetitive destructive behaviors regarding mothers. They go out and they dominate them and then imposter syndrome them. It's a love addict, a clingy love addict with a freaking savior complex. You've got the light, you're the star. They want to wear your energy and they want to present themselves to the world as though they're their savior. They want to take your light and then go misuse it on people who don't really deserve it. These water nymphs or whatever. But see, they have to harvest you, star, and they did previously. You're pointing out the finger. You've recovered from some stupid illness that they forced upon you, and now you're pointing the finger. You're like, hey, this is what happened. Your heart is closed off. It could be that you are being very defensive and holding your boundaries against this person who is coming toward you. This person who is very self-critical. And so, and their heart is closed off. You may not want to talk to them. They're trying to come toward you, but you don't want to deal with them. Four of Pentacles, this water nymph or this water sprite or whatever this thing is, has been hoarding and controlling the foundation. They've been terraforming the planet, and they've been trying to alter the skin suits, the genetic life that gets to live here. They're being cautious. There's something toxic here. There could be nuclear waste. They didn't get the money. They didn't get the money. A Hierophant is here. Could be talking to the neighbors about the copycats. And what they've seen them do when they're not pretending to be the original. Lover. Lover in the reverse. They're not a lover. They don't love anything. This is a copycat. Yeah, so they're in a tower and they're in shock. They believe everybody else in the world is wrong, and this is just weird. They're in shock. They're like, well, I'm right. And the Hierophant's like, well, no, you're not. You got these copycats out here. There's nothing right about that. Reunion. There is no reunion for these ones. They're not right. These dogmatic people. There's no reunion for them. They're out. There's a celebration here. Someone has risen from the dead. Or maybe you're just no longer even going to be friends with these people. You're organized. You're thinking clearly. You're not scattered. You know very well what's going on here. You're very clear-minded. King of Swords is very clear-minded. He's an authority figure. We got the Ace of Swords here. What that is the truth is revealed. And justice. There's clarity out here on the board 3 times. Consistency, constancy in the reverse. You're looking at inconsistency. So the Hierophant is checking with the neighbors about the copycats. They're not a lover. They don't love anybody. They don't love anything. They're very inconsistent. So they put on a show while they think people are looking, and then when they don't think anybody's looking, they slip into their normal self. You've got clarity about that. Oh, I guess that's 4. You got to get clarity times 4. The Sun is here. There's a rebirth. Something was in the ice. It's pissed off. Everybody's huddling together to try to stay warm. You've got fire and ice. Something melted the ice. Something has risen from the ice. It's pissed off. It's restless. People are unwilling to stay. They can't sit still or be quiet or calm because of anxiety and worry. Something has been reborn. It was in the ice. Journey. Journey. Somebody's going on a journey. They can't sit still. They're trying to get out of Dodge. Exit stage left. They gotta go. They're trying to get out of here. King of Swords knows the truth about what these people have been doing in dream time. For the 3D folks, when we're sleeping and our spirit is in the 5D, there's perfect clarity about what they've been doing here. Somebody's having extreme anxiety and fear. They know they were meddling without right or invitation into the affairs and the lives of others. Thief. The Ace of Swords is here about the dance. About the dance. Broken minds. Coven of sadists. The truth is out about the broken minds, this coven of sadists. What they've been doing to affect the mood of people in the dream space. Meddling, meddling, meddling. A coven of sadists. Isn't that wild? Isn't that wild? Wedding. They could be moody about a wedding. Nine of Wands. You're being defensive. Somebody's coming right toward you. You've got a self-critical person. They're shut down emotionally. A soldier. This egg says they're coming right toward you. You've got you're in your Nine of Wands energy. You're the Star. You've recovered from an illness. You've got Cujo there. He's a rabid dog attacking people. We've got accusatory. It could be that somebody did some damage, that they did something and they're blaming the Star. And maybe the Star has recovered from an illness and now she or he is pointing the finger. This King of Swords knows what's been going on in the dream state about how this thief has been meddling in other people's lives without right or invitation. Misfortune. Somebody was trying to accuse you of causing a misfortune, Star, but you have recovered from this illness. Now you can tell your story. Justice is happening. You're going to move away from this trauma. They're under judgment for casting an illusion. They're not getting any sympathy. Room. So in the room here, so this card says, you try to get attention and sympathy by falsifying, creating, and or exaggerating an illness, but it's in the reverse. And then we've got room. To me, room is the mental body. So it's like nobody's believing them. They might be in telepathic communication with somebody, trying to get sympathy. They're in trouble. They're under judgment for casting these illusions. They're trying to get sympathy in the mental body. So they're doing telepathy, trying to get under somebody's look. This servant can't get, they're thinking a lot about being an enemy of love. A wife with wings, an earth angel. This is a scholar who's going to prison because you're innocent. There's an old woman here that was in service to making joyful people sick. And they were hoping to cause you to be a widower. The Lord is waiting, or people have been waiting on the Lord. And people may be talking a lot about it. We got some folks that are in sorrow over the gift of this young woman. They're getting the letter that this is over. It's the end of it. They cannot touch the gift of this young woman. They're in despair because she's faithful. So as hard as this water thing was squeezing the mental body of this divine feminine, they didn't get the money. Something else has been reborn out of this ice, and it's pissed. People are leaving their bags behind. They're going on a journey. They're like, out of here, man. I'm out of here is what they're doing. They're like, out of here. fire and ice. Fire and freaking ice. So, yeah. We've got a greedy, hoarding, control freak. This water being. They got to act very careful to avoid possible danger. There may be danger. There may be some kind of toxic stuff in the water. They didn't get any money. We've got some secrets. They're not telling the whole story. They're not telling the whole story. They're not willing to hear the truth. They believe that they know right and that everybody else is wrong. But they're dealing with a Hierophant here, a real Hierophant. You got a Hierophant versus a water creature. And the water creature is like, I'm right and you're wrong. And the Hierophant's like, well, no, I'm sorry. You know, truth is a relative thing. And it really all depends on who is speaking with their own personal belief system through whatever rose-colored glasses or scratched up mess that they're looking through, you know. It'll change all the damn time. And the more healing you do, your truth will change too. It just happens that way. But the Hierophant is talking to the neighbors of the copycat, and they know that there's no lover here. Neglect. They've been neglecting their lovers. So the copycat has been what? Neglecting lovers? They've been flipping lovers. Like they flip them and then copycat them and then neglect them. They've been flipping their lovers and then neglecting them. We got a Tower here, and these folks are in shock. Shock, I tell you. They're dogmatic, which to me, I think dogmatic, isn't that religion? They're certain they know right, and everyone else is wrong. They're not going to get this reunion. It's in the reverse. They're not getting a reunion with this Hierophant. They've lost. They thought they were right. Well, you can't really worship a sea creature and then claim to be men of God, you know? But apparently, these dogmatic people are with this water spirit or whatever that is. So there's a celebration. Somebody has risen from the dead. Apparently, they were in the ice. You're not scattered. You're thinking clearly. There's inconsistency here. You're not dealing. These people are not your friends. You know it. You're thinking clearly. They're not consistent. So you have clear thinking. The sun, there's a rebirth of something that was in the ice. People are huddling together, trying to stay warm. Something is pissed off. Whatever has been rebirthed with this fire and ice scenario is pissed. And you've got, oh wait, reaching. So somebody's reaching out to try to connect to love, but you're not accepting friendship with them because you got clear thought. They're inconsistent, and you're just not dealing with that. So there's a celebration, merriment, joy. Rebirth of something in the ice. Oh my gosh, man. We got pieces. Somebody's restless. They're having anxiety. Their life is in pieces. They're going on a journey. They're leaving their luggage behind. It's like they're just walking. They're like leaving as fast as they can. This is anxiety and worry. Unable to stay still. And this says extreme anxiety and fear. King of Swords is an authority figure, and he knows the truth about what these guys have been doing to people in the dream state while they're sleeping in their beds. What they've been doing there, harvesting energy, messing them up over there in the 5D, copycatting them, doing crap, stealing people's lovers, flipping them, neglecting them, keeping them away from their true counterparts. They were meddling in people's lives and affairs without right or invitation to steal from them. We've got escape. They were trying to use love as an escape route. The Ace of Swords is out here about this coven of sadists messing with people's moods, their mental bodies. How they would get married to people and then they would break every single promise that they made. They would sacrifice their spouse. Nine of Wands. You're battle worn. You're being very defensive. You've got some folks, this alien creature. This is an alien creature. Some kind of weird hybrid or whatever coming toward you. You're dealing. You got your defenses up toward this alien hybrid, whatever the heck. Look, it's coming right out of the guy's chest, man. So this is a true live. This is a real live alien inside the chest of a human being. Self-critical. So they're self-critical. They find fault in themselves. They're shut down emotionally. They lost touch with themselves. This is a soldier. They just want to come forward and fight with you. They're on their way. This is like an alien. Look, long road. You have a long way to go before you get what you want, and the journey helps you grow. So the soldier has a long road. A long road. Well, you see this here. There's a human or whatever in a spacesuit, and you've got the alien there. It could be time for you to heal from these entities, you know, having a human experience. Like there's in the chest, it's like about ready to come out. I don't know what this is. They're like out in space. You're battle worn. Long road. This could be somebody out in a different dimension. They could have found themselves on another planetary system. Those people who don't feel, who have a lot of negative self-talk or talk in general, they want to fight with everybody. The star has rejuvenated from an illness, and now they're pointing the finger and making accusations. This is causing a misfortune, and somebody's drowning. The star's healing has caused somebody to fail. Justice is here, law of cause and effect. The truth is out, and you're moving on from this trauma. Better days are coming for you. You're going to experience some relief soon. There's judgment being called on those people who were casting illusions and then filming it, this lifetime story business that they've been into. They're not able to find any sympathy in the room, in the mental body. Like nobody's offering them any sympathy. We've got grieving. They could be grieving in the mental body. Nobody's feeling sorry for them. Everything they built on your light is crumbling. They made life very hard for you, playing games with love. Tempted by the snake. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Hit it and quit it. Let's just have, and then burn it. Oh, get a bird. Oh, crap. Somebody's being fierce and aggressive. They're tangled up in their own web, and they're guilty of playing in the dark side. Childishly wanting forgiveness. Let's do this one. Haven't done this one in a while. This is a new deck. Let's use this one. So we have a possessive water spirit or whatever that's been feeding on the mental of divine feminine. We've got cautious, you're acting very careful, or they're being careful now. They weren't telling the whole story. They did not get the money. They've got secrets. There's secrets. They're using caution. They've got secrets. They did not get the money. There, okay, and we got birds. Whoa, man. Birds. Number 12, birds. Birds in the reverse. I guess it doesn't matter. Birds. The owl is a bird of prey, and certain physical characteristics make it successful in hunting. Due to these qualities, the owl is associated with the world of magic, with mysteries and wisdom. Heavy, unpleasant communication, negative, evaluative judgment, surveillance, gloomy thoughts, and insomnia. They might not be able to sleep. There's a lot of commotion. Everybody's chirping. All the birds are squawking. The flowers aren't blooming. We've got lilies in the reverse. Number 30. Birds are squawking. Because you have found your place in life to attain peace and harmony. That this is a time of peaceful union of souls, trust, reciprocity, and a long-lasting bond. So everybody's talking that you're getting a long-lasting bond here, and you've got some this water person or whatever, they're keeping secrets. But we've also got the sun here popped out, number 31. A symbol of life. The onset of a bright period in life, a victory and success. So you're victorious, you're very energetic, you've got this rebirth. This person is keeping secrets. They don't want to tell everything. They're being very cautious. It's a water. Maybe they worship a water creature. Whoever it is that's been trying to control the foundation, they worship some water creature that's been snacking on the mental body of divine feminine and their energy. They're using caution. The Hierophant is here talking to the neighbors of this copycat, and they can see that they've been flipping their lovers and neglecting them. They've been keeping them from their true divine counterpart. We got Fish and number 34. So they were flipping and copycatting these lovers, or just flipping them and then neglecting them to take the resources, the sustenance, the income, and the abundance. They were just using them, getting pregnant so that they could take advantage of the financials. People who are self-employed, have their own business, engaged in entrepreneurial or consulting activities. So they would stalk people that had it together, and then they would kind of do what they do to mess them up, to flip them. They're in a tower. They're shocked. This dogmatic group. They're certain, they know it all, that they're right. They've lost. They are not taking part in this reunion. And we've got Fox. They're sly. They're tricky. Number 14. Cunning, deceitful, a predator, whose survival depends on the success of hunting, carefully stalking its prey, audaciously attacks as soon as there's a moment of inattention. So as soon as you're not paying attention, they go ahead and attack. But the thing is you don't know you're dealing with a fox because they come in like they're one of you. They're not here to eat you. They want to love you. Deceit, betrayal, the pursuit of personal interest, greed, searching for profit, frauds and manipulations, financial losses, and unethical behavior. Oh, isn't this funny? A meeting with a charming person who can flatter, weave intrigues, and easily betray for the sake of their interests. Beware of Greeks bearing gifts, bribery, and corruption. Bribery and corruption. How could they think that that's right? How could they go ahead and tell God, Most High God, that they are right? In this, I don't understand it. They're in a tower. Again, you got tower. Clouds. Tower and clouds. So there's a celebration here. Somebody has risen from the dead. You're not scattered. You're very clearly focused. You can see very clear that these copycats were inconsistent. They're reaching out for love. Love is not connecting with them. We got 6 clouds. It's a negative card, depriving us of the sense of solid ground beneath our feet and clear vision of our future. So they can no longer see through the clouds. they're inconsistent. They can't see through the clouds. And then we've got Tower, number 19. Limitations, sanctions, seclusion, alienation, distancing, indifference, isolation due to illness, obstacles, and barriers from official authorities. Official authorities. We got the King of Swords here, who he's an authority, and he knows what they've been doing in the dream time. The Sun is here. Now this Ice card, let me just read that again, because dang, Ice. It's weird and it's pissed off, whatever it is. Band together to stay warm, resist negative forces. But here you've got friendship, and the friendship card says, has it occurred to you that it might be unsettling to see you arise from the grave to visit me? There's a celebration. You now know who your friends are. Whatever it is, it's pissed off and it's faithful. Dog. Dog. Loyal. Blind devotion. Honesty, simplicity, modest demands. It's a close friend. Loyalty, unconditional, devoted service. So, we've got loyal, devoted service. The Sun, there's a rebirth here, right? Fire and ice. We've got a group in the ice. Something's been reborn. They're not sure what it is, but it's pissed off. People are having anxiety. They're packing their bags, but they're leaving them there and walking on without them. Their life is in pieces. It's falling apart. We've got a journey. They're going on a journey. And we've got dog here. A faithful, loyal friend. So King of Swords, an authority figure, knows what these ones have been doing in the dream space, and they're having extreme anxiety and fear about it. They've been meddling in other people's affairs without right or invitation to steal from them, and to find out who is loving, what they have, and then to come in, tap that, marry them, and then break their promises, and then sacrifice them. That's exactly what they've been doing. The truth is here. They've been getting marriage contracts and then freaking unaliving their freaking mate. And whoever this star is, you've recovered from an illness. Whatever they did to you, you've recovered from it, and now you're pointing the finger. It's like, look what you've done here. And they're having a misfortune big time. They're going under, man. They're going under. The truth is out. King of Swords does his own investigation. He doesn't base anything on hearsay. He probably investigates, verifies, and continues to verify until there's nothing left to verify. There's nothing left to investigate. It just is what it is. We've got the key. There's a key here. Number 33. So this thief was meddling in other people's lives without right or invitation. Their intention was to steal from people and use love as an escape route. They come in, they get a contract, and then they break their promise and sacrifice their spouse. This is what they've been doing. The King of Swords knows the truth about it. They've been stalking people in their dreams, and then they show up in the 3D like, hey, fancy meeting you here. Oh, you like that? Oh, I like that too. Yeah. Oh, who knew? So we got the key here. All the locked doors have been opened. The attainment of authoritative powers and brilliant opportunities. The key suggests a situation of reliability and security. It aids in correcting any situation and finding a way out of circumstance. It is opening the locked doors and gaining access to what was previously unattainable. So the King of Swords has the key. He has the key. He knows what's been happening in these dreams. These guys are having extreme anxiety because they were doing it with outright or imitation to steal from people. And they were using love in a very bad way. They would come up, they would stalk people in the dream state, they'd astral project, find out every detail of their life, and then they would come in like they just met them out of the blue. Oh, love you, let's get married. And then they would sacrifice them for money. The Ace of Swords is here regarding this dance. This coven of sadists affecting the maze and changing, like the feelings and the behaviors would change quickly without warning, because these guys would get a wedding, a contract, then they would break the promises and they would flip the original and then copycat them. They would sacrifice them. They would copycat them. Mice. These are rodents. Number 23. Pests that humanity has battled for centuries. They spoil homes, destroy food supplies, and are carriers of dangerous diseases. Their presence is undesirable. They drain the strength. They gnaw at and eat away from a community, or they eat away at a community from within. Besides material losses, this card also foretells illnesses, especially those related to stress. It portends nervousness, theft, losses, breakdowns at home, mercenary relationships, squabbles, discord, gradual destruction, greed, gluttony, vandalism, dirt, infectious diseases. Well, I received a message a while back that a new ANU was here to do pest control and make sure that the old Dominion is here to make sure that this transfer goes well. You've got these folks here, they don't want to do the transfer. They want to get a hold of this star and they want to consume her. House. We got house here. House number 4. House symbolizes security, protection, stability, and a solid footing in the context we're examining. Tied to family matters, places of residence, real estate, and personal property. Traditions, a comfortable and secure lifestyle. and the places where we feel most at home, our personal and sacred space. It may indicate stagnation, isolation. Could have been a long road before you found what you want. House. You may have protection. There's a soldier here. Or maybe this soldier has a long way to go before they find what they want regarding this house, regarding security and protection and stability. You are secure, protected, and stable. This soldier has a long way to go before they can find you because you're protected. They're not able to find you. Star has miraculously recovered from an illness. There's this Cujo. There may have been some kind of weird stuff. And they're pointing the finger at folks who've been causing a misfortune and causing a drowning. Or perhaps whoever has done this, whoever did this kind of stuff, is undergoing a falling apart. A falling freaking snake. We've got a drowning snake undergoing a misfortune. They've been accused. The star has healed from an illness. Snake number 7. There are complications and changes in plans, malicious actions, deceit, betrayal, attack, the need to be on guard, illness, a visit to the doctor, and medical manipulations. So somebody's having a misfortune. They're going under. This is a snake. They got some bad stuff happening because the star has recovered from an illness and pointed the finger at who did what. Justice is happening and you're moving on from this trauma. Judgment is being called on the illusionist, on those who were filming, causing harm to others and then filming it and then broadcasting it throughout the galaxy as a lifetime story of these stars suffering and how insignificant they are. Just a look, slave. You'll never do better than that. Terrible, terrible, terrible people. The star has recovered from this illness, this Cujo, this freaking whatever it was. Cujo, I don't know if you ever watched that movie, but it was about this big dog and it got rabies and it turned on its owner. It was kind of scary. It was a really old movie. But I'm old, so. Anyway, nobody's offering them any sympathy in the room. I mean, in the mental body, like nobody's comforting them. They're grieving. It didn't work out the way they had planned. You're out of here. They're upset. The aliens, you're being defensive by these aliens. It's time for you to heal from these aliens. Egg. They got egg on their face. Self-critical, heart closed off soldier. Ooh, we got a tree in the reverse. Tree in the reverse. Tree is number 5. In a negative environment, this card points to health issues, conflicts with relatives, and rigidity in situations where speed and flexibility are critical. We've got tree in the reverse. This could be somebody's family tree. There's no sympathy for them in the mind. They're grieving. They could be having mental, the whole family tree might be receiving some kind of mental stuff going on because of what they've been doing here. These mice. To the stars. To the stars. Number 16. To the true stars. The ray of light within the darkness. Stork. Number 17. There's a change here. The winds of change. Family, tradition, child care, elder care. Relocation, air travel, journey. So there's another journey. Addition to the family, renovation, a promotion, a job change. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and leave this one here. I hope that it brings clarity to something that you already intuitively knew. And I'll see you on the next one, everybody. Bye.